So the punch down is a really basic process. This is something that is literally millennia old. And one of the great things about being a winemaker is you get to do things that people have been doing for thousands of years. You're submerging the cap, whether it's through walking on it, pigeage, which we do with some of the high percentages of whole cluster, or you have a punch down tool. It's usually a wooden or metal rod with a plate on the end of it that you use to submerge the cap. We use it for two things. That you submerge the cap in order to keep as the wine is fermenting, the yeast are fermenting the sugar, they release carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide latches onto anything solid and lifts it literally up out of the wine, the must. So you have to basically suppress that cap, push it back down in order to get it wet, and that is to prevent basically an acetic issue from arising. For me, what I also believe is that, you know, yeast don't swim. So as the yeast are working on converting, some of them are raised up into the liquid through being, you know, touched by carbon dioxide bubbles, but the vast majority of them sink to the bottom of the fermenter. And my philosophy on this is it's like urbanization. You know, it's the kids all moving out of the country into the city. The problem is that in any city, if you don't bring nutrient to the city, it's not going to be very long before things get really ugly. And so part of your punch down is taking the cap down, but the reality for me is that a huge portion of it is that you have to recirculate the yeast that have sunk to the bottom. You have to bring the kids back to the country, then make sure that one, all the sugar gets consumed that way, and two, that they spend as little time in a nutrient and food deprived situation as possible. So we try to avoid the apocalypse at the bottom of the fermenter.
Similar? Are they different?